Hey guys, Simon here. That's right, the guy who plugged up a Steak and Shake toilet. Jealous? Anyway, today I'm talking to you about Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and some of the Easter eggs, references, game mechanics, and all around cool shit that was put into the game. If you like what I say, hit some buttons. If you don't like what I say, then you're a toolbox. Why are you watching me? Okay, before I get started, I just want to say this is your spoiler warning for the entire video. I don't really get too in-depth into stuff that happens throughout the game, but I do mention some instances and scenes and a few things that happen, so they could be described as spoilery because everybody's an anal retentive butthole nowadays, but this is your warning, so you have it. All throughout the game, you can find chests with all types of items in them, from new clothes and color patterns to new poncho designs and lightsaber attachments. This helps to keep you looking fresh while pushing people off ledges. One of these poncho designs, Homestead, is a huge Easter egg. The design pattern on this poncho is the same design on the ceiling of Luke's, Uncle Owen, and Aunt Beru's house on Tatooine, or Desert Hole, or whatever the hell that thing's called. You can see it best in the blue milk scene in A New Hope, where they make Luke feel like shit. Just one of the amazing Easter eggs in the game. Early in the game, you visit Bogano to help push along the story. At some point, you notice this giant looking dragon-like beast that just sits there sleeping like Falkor from the Neverending Story. You can't really do much with this guy but look at him in awe. However, later in the story, the Imperials come, and when that happens, you might notice that this beast has moved a lot further back from the area he was previously at. Almost as if he knows the stormtroopers are dickheads. In Episode 7, The Force Awakens, we are introduced to two new people, Kylo Ren and Rey. I am mentioning these two people because of Cal's connection to them. How is he connected to them? By his Force powers. In Episode 7, right at the start, we get an idea of how powerful Kylo Ren really is, when he basically freezes a blaster bolt in midair and just keeps it suspended there until he's done with it. Cal possesses a little of this ability and his ability to slow enemies down to almost a crawl. When that happens, the blaster bolts move a lot more slowly than normal and you can dodge them a bit easier, or better still, pull bad guys into them. Cal also shares a Force ability with Rey and his ability to see an item's history. He can do this by sensing Force echoes around objects, and he is given a vision of what the item has been through. Rey possesses this ability and uses it in Episode 7, sort of, when she first finds Luke's old lightsaber in Maz's basement. It's almost as if the weapon draws her to it so she can have the vision. I don't really know that this topic so much needs an introduction. The high ground. You know what the high ground is, you know what it's about, you know all the memes, you've seen all the crap about it. Throughout the game, there's a few instances where you'll come across stormtroopers, or any type of trooper really, talking about having the high ground, or how the high ground's the advantage, or they've got the high ground so they're in a good, well, whatever. They're screwed no matter what, so it doesn't really help them at all. This is a simple thing and I'm sure everyone knows it, but I'm including it because he's awesome. For the Mantis, there is a ship color called Bounty Hunter, and if you haven't noticed or found it yet, it is in the colors of Boba Fett's armor and ship, Slave One. Likewise, the color next to it, Mercenary, appears to be the color pattern for Jango Fett's armor and ship. A cool nod to the Mandalorians, possibly because the TV show came out about the same week as the game, so who kinda knows. Seems like Boba Fett's a thing of the past now that everybody's, sucking on Mondo's tit and so far in Baby Yoda's butt, you can taste all the frogs he's eating. Baby Yoda is fucking awesome. This is a funny similarity or one hell of a coincidence. Cal gets his lightsaber from Jaro Tarpal in a flashback. Once you get the ability to change pieces on your lightsaber, you will notice all the different parts and how they can be switched out. When you get to the emitter, take a good look at the one named Jaro Tarpal. It's a lot different than most of the ones we have seen in the movies or games. However, it is similar to the vault entrance on Bogano to find the Holocron. It's a nice connection in the story on how the Force seems to bring things together full circle and how everything is connected. Another little funny similarity about this is when you first open the door to the vault on Bogano, isn't it kind of funny how that one little spot where it opens looks like that might be where a lightsaber crystal goes? Just saying. I'm not sure if everyone has seen this yet, but it makes the list because it's awesome. When you are remembering a part of your life and have a flashback, it takes you back to Order 66. This is when the Emperor sent out the order to kill all the Jedi. When this happens, Cal is on his way to train and talking with the troopers and throwing high fives like everybody's best buddies and they're all going to rainbow parties together. However, that changes once the order is sent and these troopers just start taking out Jedi like it's nothing. It's a pretty intense moment in the game because you know there is no happy ending really for anybody.
No!
Early in the game, once you are on the Manus, you will find out that you are looking for a Holocron. To show you what one looks like, Kree hands you one and tells you to use the Force. When you do that, a message from Obi-Wan Kenobi pops up and plays. This message is the same message that plays in Star Wars Rebels. In that show, it is Khan that opens a Holocron to view the message. Basically, it's just telling people that to have hope, the Jedi are still alive and you're scattered, but the Force will provide and all that good old jazz. Of course, you know, Kenobi knew that Luke was alive and Leia was alive and they were wherever the hell they were, and he's just hiding out on Tatooine. And yeah, but so it's just cool. Also early in the game, you are taken through a flashback to Cal's training days as a Padawan. Several of these take place during the game, and some of them are badass. In one of these training sessions, Cal completes a task and his master says, "Good. Faster and more intense. Do it again."
Faster, more intensity.
He says these things out of line, but according to reports from the original trilogy and the actors such as Mark Hamill and the great Carrie Fisher, this is something George Lucas would say quite often to the stars on the set. In fact, Mr. Lucas didn't speak a lot during filming, if at all, but according to the stars, this line, "Let's do it again, faster and more intense," was something he said quite often because that's what he wanted, I guess. Another interesting fact about this famous line, it was the first time in American history that another person said, "That's what she said," after George Lucas would say his famous line. Once the game gets going and you find your droid companion, you will have a couple icons in the bottom left section of the screen. The first is a SIM canister and a number representing how many you have remaining. The blue bar next to it is the second, and this is your health bar, which tells you how screwed you are at any given time. Anyway, when the bar is full, these two images look like a lit up lightsaber. A cool visual the developers came up with, bonus points for them. Sizes may vary, that's what she said. Well folks, that is all I have for you this time. I hope you enjoyed the video and got a laugh out of it and learned something cool about it. I hope you come back next time. If you like what you heard, subscribe. Baby Yoda's adorable. Peace.